Wasn't that an excellent commercial showing this model off? Hello everyone and welcome back to another exciting model video from Sanford Prime. And now I'd like to walk you through some of the design of this one, similar to what I've done in previous videos. Bottom line, I decided to do a cooler like this since I already had a model of a soda can. If you've been around long enough, you've probably seen the printable koozies I've made. Let's grab a different camera angle of that one. There we go. This is one of 3 different koozies I designed and posted. This one's pretty cool because it has a thread on top to keep everything secure. Once you put your can on the inside, you can just thread it on and keep everything under control. The can won't fall out when tipped. In a previous video, I also compared 3D printed koozies to other store-bought koozies. You should go check it out. How do you think it did? So now that I already have the can model though, I was able to stack half a case of them together and grab some dimensions without having to measure the physical cans. Now that I know what dimension I needed to be, I was able to make my initial sketch for the size cooler I wanted. I converted that sketch into a boss extrude with an outward draft taper on the sides. Just a solid block of plastic right now. Some simple radiuses to each of the vertical corners, then a chamfer at the bottom to hopefully create a cleanly printable transition using the layer by layer additive technology available to me. Then the cargo cavity on the inside had to be carved out at the dimensions required for all 6 cans. It's essentially a cooler already, look at that. I added a few radiuses to the inside corners for strength and aesthetics, then a chamfer at the bottom of the cavity to ease the sharp transition while increasing strength. I plan on the cover seating down into the cooler, so I added a relief at the top of the cavity. This should help position the cover whenever it's on. Okay, then another radius on the outer rim at the very top just to give it a nice overall look. I need a flat vertical surface now for the handle to engage with the main cooler body, so I added a boss at the side. You can see here that there's already a call for supports being used. I'll deal with that in a minute. For now, I need to get the hole in place for the handle to engage. Then to keep the handle from popping out, my plan is to create a cavity on the inside where a retainer can freely travel in. I'm not sure if you can see it here, so let's section it a little so you can see what I'm talking about. There it is. A little bit to go here, but the idea is that it's big enough the little tab can just freely travel around in it. For the tab to get into the hollow area, I need to create a little keyhole through to it. This is actually the second design of it. The first one I wasn't thinking and made it purely horizontal, which I didn't realize till about 15 hours into the print. It actually came out pretty nice though, without supports. Okay, instead of drawing all these features twice the same way, I'm just going to mirror them on the center plane here. Oh yeah, I added a radius to the bottom of the boss overhang too. This should eliminate the whole printing in the air thing. Okay, what's next? Oh yeah, just the addition of chamfers and stuff to the whole handle engagement area to increase strength, make it more printable, and make me feel better generally, because most of these are going to be hidden under the handle when it's done. Then just some additional radiuses for where the cover goes on. Oh boy, so much more to go here. Don't worry, I'll be quick about it. I want the cover to sort of snap in, so I added some little tabs on the inside where the cover sits in here. The thought here is to make a slight interference fit that the cover needs to push by. I mirrored that to the other side, then I put it onto the remaining 2 sides for a 4-way interference. Then some more radiuses on these tabs just to get rid of the sharp edges. Did I have to do this? No, but it makes me feel better about the whole thing. Alright, back to the important parts here. These 4 raised circles on the corner to support the cover and hold it in place when it's flipped over for cup holder mode. Then it's just into aesthetics for the whole thing. I put this recessed panel onto one of the big sides so I can put some lettering on it. Finish it off here with some clean radiuses for the corners. Then just the branding text. I think of a full rack as a full case of 12, so half rack seems appropriate here until I get a bigger printer. I wanted to keep adding to the visual appeal of this cooler and test my modeling skills, so I added some recesses to the corners. The flat sides were no problem, but getting that connecting piece seamlessly in place for the lofted cut is what took some time. Now that I got that worked out, I have to develop a plan for the overall texture of the outside surface. Then I'm jumping back into the corner cuts and mirroring them instead of redrawing them, thankfully. The next features are pretty processor intense. Luckily for you though, we have the power of editing here. So here it is, just a few fill patterns on 3 of the faces to dazzle any onlooker. It's starting to look pretty cool, isn't it? I also want to add some slots to the inside for the potential of adding separators. Positioning is key here so that they're outside of the cans and not exactly in the middle, which would be limiting to functionality. Then I put some more text on the back bottom, just something to make it feel authentic and branded. I don't know. And then the big part's all done. Let's print it. And from my ender days, I still monitor the first layer, which probably isn't a bad idea still. And I put some pre-sliced files for this on the Makerworld if anyone is interested in the infill, wall thickness, supports, or anything else for that matter. 18 hours and 523 grams of material later, it was complete. Yeah, everything is coming along pretty good for this one so far. Moving on to the lid. Since I already had the cooler base done, I know exactly the dimensions this needs to be. So starting off with a simple boss extrude to give it some thickness, it's really probably functional as a lid the way it is, but I just can't stop here. I added some fillets to the vertical edges to match the lower cooler, and to the top side that's normally up. A chamfer to the bottom side which sits against the cooler body, then a boss sticking out from the bottom side to engage with the pilot cutout in the cooler's top. I didn't just make this boss straight walled though. I added an outward draft to it so that when it pushes past the little bumps I put in the top of the cooler, it has a little bit of positive hold. Moving on to the underside, I just wanted to add some options for this plain old boring cover. For that I want the ability for the cover to have a way to hold the cans from sliding off and a place to put some other things you might have in your pockets. On the other side there just needs to be 4 pockets that match the bosses of the cooler body. These are just so when the cover is flipped over it stays in position. There's no option but to require supports for these right now. Okay, depending on how tightly the cover snaps in place, I thought I might need some finger holes to lift it away from the cooler, so I got those in place. Then just some more fillets to clean that up before I mirrored the same features to the opposite side. Pretty much done here. The only thing that's left is to put the Sanford Prime logo in the center here. Let's send it. These first layers are usually pretty good on these machines, but I still watch them. Every once in a while I can spot something that needs attention. Gyroid infill with this one looks cool, but I hear it also gives better strength. 7 hours and another 219 grams of filament later? This whole design was built around the capabilities of my 3D printer's build volume. Since this is the widest part, this was actually the piece that drove the rest of the design, believe it or not. It actually worked out that the sides of the handle were thinner too, so it increased its ability to flex when being installed. Just some more fillets here to keep it from looking like something from Roblox. Yeah, I guess it kinda looks like a carrying handle here, doesn't it? Adding the boss and the little key-like nub that engages with the sides of the cooler. Mirror it to the other side real quick. Then a combination of chamfers and fillets to dress it up so it glides freely. Now I have a handle that I can send to the printer. First layer looking good here. Just so you can see how close I cut this one. It's right on the edge. Make sure the build plate's on perfect for this one. Millimeters to spare. Gyroid infill again for strength. It's coming out excellent. Some supports were needed under the pins, but that's about it. For some reason it decided to add supports to the rest of the radiuses, but it's not bad, I can live with that. About 5 hours and 142 grams of material for this one. Once it's cooled off, it just pulls right off the build plate. Then a little cleanup and it's ready to use. The only other parts here are the divider, which is pretty self-explanatory, a rectangular extrude with some fillets and chamfers, then the text, which is just an extrude from the fonts within SolidWorks, sized to fit the cooler body. From start to finish, this has been a pretty fun project. It used quite a bit of filament, but the end result is pretty rewarding to see it all come together. It was pretty fun with this one trying to think of all the features and add-ons I wanted to include with it. I've actually come up with some more since printing this one that I may end up kicking out later. If you have any suggestions for cooler add-ons, I'd like to hear them. Drop what you think would be a good fit for this in the comments section. Oh yeah, if you're interested in this model, it's posted to a couple of model sites for you to download for free. Makerworld is increasingly becoming my favorite, and that's where the print profile is going to be posted. I'll also be posting the STLs to Printables if that's the site you prefer. You can always check out the other stuff I have posted to these sites too. Who knows, you might find something else you like. Thingiverse also has a couple of pages of things I've done and soon to include this cooler. So what are you still doing here? Go print something.